What is going on, Uchias and my fellow members of the D Clan? I am back. Literally, just got back from the theaters watching Fantastic Four 2025. Guys, if you haven't already, or if you want an encore, go see it. Now, this movie wasn't perfect by any means. No. This movie was not perfect by any means. But was it good? Absolutely. Did it have its flaws? Yes, it did. Number one being Silver Surfer being a woman. Dun dun dun. It wasn't that bad, guys. I know Silver Surfer was a female in the comics in a parallel universe like 20 something, 30 something years ago. I did my research into it. Should they have went this route? No. I stick to the source material. Majority of the fan base knows Silver Surfer to be a male. They should have stuck with that. But it wasn't terrible, and it wasn't a god-awful decision. The actress that played Silver Surfer, she did an amazing job. She brought forth the emotion. She brought it down to a human level. The actor that played the Human Torch, Johnny Storm, he did an amazing job. Everybody did an amazing job in this film. Okay, all the actors did a great job. Even Pedro Pascal. I don't know why people gave Pedro Pascal just such a hard time because he's not from the U.S. You know what I'm saying? But he did a great job. All right, as Mr. Fantastic, he did a great job. Guys, they did a couple more things that I didn't quite agree with. I'm going to get the bad where I didn't like out the way first. Another thing I didn't like is the way they portrayed Galactus. Okay, he is cosmic energy, but Galactus is planet size. You know what I'm saying? He is like, 10 times bigger than the Earth in the comics. You know what I'm saying? But of course, the comics have different variations of Galactus, and that's okay. So that's why when he came down, I guess, to planet Earth as human size or whatever, being able to walk the streets of New York, I did not agree with that. But again, they had to adapt it, with him getting burnt in the face by Johnny Storm and, getting his eyes burnt. That would have never hurt Galactus in the comics, not one peep. You know what I'm saying? Stick close to the source material, Marvel. That would never hurt Galactus. But I like this movie better than what I like Superman 2025. This is how you write and portray a superhero film. Okay? They made the Fantastic Four just that. Fantastic. And they focused on those characters. And they wrote a good story. And they didn't have a whole lot of no side characters to come steal the spotlight. They didn't have to beat up on the characters to try to make them great, to try to make them human and relatable. No. They did an awesome job on this film. Kevin Feige, hats off to you, sir. I haven't enjoyed all of your films that you did, but this one right here I did good. Now, if you guys do a standalone Hulk movie, keep this same energy. Okay? I'm going to keep on beating at every video that I have to. Do not make the Hulk an incredible punk. Alright? But let's get back to this breakdown, to this review of the film. I'm going to keep it spoiler free. I'm going to do another one if you want to see spoilers. You can stay on track. I'm not going to spoil too much information. You had the child, Franklin. And I said this in previous videos of those of you who have been following me. I said that child is going to become a very, very powerful being, a very, very powerful mutant. The Fantastic Four are mutants. What happened to them in outer space? All it did was activate their X gene and made it from recessive to dominant, and that's how they got their powers. But they are really mutants. Okay. I like the guy that did the Thing. He did an amazing job. I loved his voice. You know that it's clobbering time. He did an amazing job. He and Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal portrayed Mr. Fantastic good. Now I will say I don't like Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic as I like the Mr. Fantastic from the early 2000s. The Mr. Fantastic from the early 2000s I would say he looked more like Mr. Fantastic from the comics. You know what I'm saying? Sue, the actress that played Susan Storm or Susan Richards, whichever you prefer, she did an amazing job as well, guys. To, of course, not wanting to give up her child. What mother would want to give up their child to a cosmic being to save the planet? I don't know none, so I'm pretty sure you don't either. What else I didn't like? What else that I did love about the film? I love the action scenes. I really did enjoy the choreography. I really did enjoy it. You can tell that they was on a tight budget because Mr. Fantastic didn't get a whole lot of action scenes, and that's understandable. But for what we did get out of Mr. Fantastic, with all the stretching and the moving and the movability that he had going on the film, it was good for what it was. I really wanted to see more of it, but they're on a budget, and I'm pretty sure that right there was expensive, especially when Galactus God grab a hold of him at the end, and you will see. I'm gonna do a spoiler video. Guys, I have to honestly give this movie, like I said, I enjoyed it more than Superman 2025, and it is not the greatest movie, you know what I'm saying? But it was a great representation of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's. And you know what? I thought it was gonna be like, DEI woke, and it was a little woke. You know how the boy said, "Girls get it done." Keep watching that. They really did that at the end of this movie, but it was comic book inaccurate because if Sue had did that in the comics, she would have been dead. You understand me? Because even in the cartoons and all from the back in the 90s and the comic books from back in the day, from the 90s and the 80s and the 70s and the 60s on back, she would have been passed up. I don't care what was on the line, her child or whatever. She would have never been able to overexert herself the way she did. And then with the female Silver Surfer catching, I guess, a sense of humor herself, and but other than that, they did a great job. 2 thumbs up. And I have to give this movie a solid 3.5 out of 5 cool rays. Cool ray! Comment down below. Tell me if you guys enjoyed my reaction. Stay tuned. I'll have a spoiler video coming out real soon right after this here. Comment down below. Like the video. Share this video with your friends. And subscribe. 5,000 subscribers. Cool ray.